1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The government's limit to obtain loans will be increased. The Cabinet approves the establishment of a National Public Council Secretariat in view of the Public Council. It has been expressed that 51,430 persons in 11 districts have been affected by the adverse weather. President has congratulated Shehan Karunatilaka on becoming the second Sri Lankan-born author to receive the prestigious Booker Prize for his second novel. Minister of Power says that the committee report to restructure Electricity Board is to be received during this week. Energy Minister sounds warning as CPC employees report sick. And in news from overseas, US says Iranian drones breach sanctions. News in detail. The government's limit to obtain loans will be increased. The government is expected to obtain 663 billion rupees as loans in addition to the 3,844 billion rupee for this year. Cabinet spokesman Bandula Gunawardena said that the Cabinet has approved the proposals made by President Ranil Wickremesinghe in this regard. Measures will be taken to establish a Cabinet subcommittee on reconciliation and the President will be the chairman of it. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, Minister Douglas Dewananda, Vijayadasa Rajapaksa and Ali Sabri are the other members of the subcommittee. The aim of this move is to provide solutions for the problems faced by the people of the North and the East. Advice has been given to prepare a draft bill to introduce a new draft bill for the management of state assets. Cabinet approval has been given for the establishment of a National Public Council Secretariat in view of the Public Council. It will be implemented as an independent centre on national level to strengthen the democracy. The Director General of the Disaster Management Centre, Sudhantha Ransinga, says that 51,430 persons in 11 districts have been affected by the adverse weather. Currently, 2,248 persons are staying in 27 safer places. 5 deaths have been reported due to the landslides and floods. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has congratulated Shehan Karunatilaka on becoming the second Sri Lankan-born author to receive the prestigious Booker Prize for his second novel, The 7 Moons of Mali Almeida. The Booker Prize 2022, one of the most prestigious literary awards in the world, has gone to The 7 Moons of Mali Almeida by Shehan Karunatilaka, a Sri Lankan writer, also known for his rock songs, screenplays and travel stories. The novel Karunatilaka II is a satire based in war-torn Sri Lanka surrounding the life of a war photographer who goes on journalistic mission in his afterlife. Karunatilaka will receive £50,000 as prize money. Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said in Parliament today that the committee report to restructure the Electricity Board is to be received during this week. He said this committee has been appointed to restructure to suit the country. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara says that if any employee or trade union is found breaching the essential services regulations and disrupting services, immediate legal and disciplinary action will be taken against them. In a Twitter message, he said that petroleum services have been declared as essential services for the last 6 months. An additional fuel quota will be given for three-wheelers during the period of next week. At present, the prices of fuel has been reduced by 100 rupees. He believes that the charges of three-wheelers will be reduced. Specialist doctor of the Psychiatry Division of the Medical Faculty of the Kelaniya University, Aruni Hapangama, says that the number of people suffering from psychiatry have been increased in the country when compared with the world countries. There are many types of psychiatric diseases that will affect each group. She also stated that there will be a possibility of removing from the university education by talented students due to ragging. She made these remarks participating in the Dasatesin Hada program of the SLBC. Joining the program, the chief incumbent of the Narahenpita Abhayarama, Muruttetuwe Anandathera, said that He rejects the false propagations being published regarding the terror through the social media. The terror also rejected the accusation made by the Colombo urban councillor Priyanka Jayasekara against the terror. The terror also requested a 100 million rupee compensation from the trade union leader Vasantha Samarasinghe on the accusation made by him. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Paris Club has assured to provide their fullest support to the efforts taken by the Sri Lanka government to seek solutions for the debt crisis. This has been stated by the chairman of the society, William Roos, when he met the State Minister Sehan Semasinghe at the annual meeting of the IMF and the World Bank held in Washington. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Washlight, the residents say that there is a threat of dying of wild elephants by eating polythene from the waste garbage centre in Gallala in Polonnaruwa. It has been reported that a wild elephant had died yesterday due to eating of polythene. They also pointed out that there is no proper program to safeguard the wild elephant resource. This is for the attention of the Minister of Environment. And that was Watchlight. Up next is World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. US says Iranian drones breach sanctions. Russian warplane crash kills 13 in apartment block. And Minister of Defence says ex-UK pilots lured to help Chinese military. World News in detail. The US says it agrees with Western allies that Iran's supply of explosive drones to Russia violates UN sanctions. Kyiv was struck by so-called kamikaze drones on Monday, unleashed by Russia but believed to be Iranian-made. The US agrees with the French and British assessment that the drones violate UN Security Council Resolution 2231, the US State Department said. That resolution linked to Iran's nuclear accord bars Iranian transfers to certain military technologies. At least 13 people have now died after a Russian fighter bomber plane crashed into an apartment block in the southern Russian town of Yeysk, officials say. The two pilots of the Su-34 jet on a training flight ejected before it hit the building and caused a huge inferno. Rescuers revised the death toll after finishing their search of the rubble, Russia's emergencies ministry said. 3 children were among the victims. The officials said 68 were rescued from the blaze in the 9-story block. Former British military pilots are being lured to China with large sums of money to pass on their expertise to the Chinese military, it is claimed. Up to 30 former UK military pilots are thought to have gone to train members of China's People's Liberation Army. The UK is issuing an intelligence alert to warn former military pilots against working for the Chinese military. Attempts to headhunt pilots are ongoing and had been ramping up recently, Western officials say. Back to the headlines of the world news. US says Iranian drones breach sanctions. Russian warplane crash kills 13 in apartment block. And the Minister of Defence says ex-UK pilots lured to help Chinese military. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News.
The water purification machine constructed for the use of the Gonagam Ara and Mahagodayaya villages in the Buttala Divisional Secretariat divisions have been vested with the public. 2.4 million rupees was spent on this project. And that was Development News.
Sports News is brought to you by...
With many values that bind us beyond the transaction, we are Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Sports news, it's cricket. The second match of the T20 World Championship Cricket Tournament that Sri Lanka will participate will be held today at Geelong. Sri Lanka team will play the match against the United Arab Emirates team. The match will be a decisive one for the Sri Lanka team as they were defeated in the first match played against Namibia. Today's match will begin at 1:30 p.m. local time. Afghanistan cricket team will arrive in the island next month for 3 ODIs to be played between the two nations. All matches will be played at the Pallekele International Stadium. The first ODI will begin on the 25th of next month. And that was sports news.
A special interest rate of 15% on savings certificates opened in October. Prarthana for children, Prarthana Plus for adults. NSB Prarthana, your dreams realized.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The tourist arrivals for the first half of October have crossed the 20,000 mark, showing an improvement in the rate of international visitors entering the country. According to the provisional data released by the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority for October 1st to the 16th, Sri Lanka welcomed a total of 20,573 tourists. The weekly arrivals show that for the first week of October, that's from the 1st to the 7th, Sri Lanka welcomed 8,614 visitors. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
When I grow up, I'll fly to the moon somehow.
Envision your future now. NSB Prarthana will show you the path to your dreams. This thrift month, open a savings certificate. It's a long-term investment on your future with great returns. A special interest rate of 15% on savings certificates opened in October. Prarthana for children, Prarthana Plus for adults. NSB Prarthana, your dreams realized.
Economic News, courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka is to start the manufacturing of cosmetic products from herbal ingredients, State Minister of Indigenous Medicine Promotion Sisira Jayakudi said. He said that Sri Lanka currently spends over $75 million to import cosmetics and most of them are made from artificial ingredients. And that was Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
And on the weather report, the Meteorological Department forecasts showers or thunder showers to occur at times in the western, Sabragamu, central and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Matra districts. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the western, Sabragamu and central provinces and in the Galle and Matra districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur elsewhere over the island during the afternoon or night. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. That was the weather report, and to conclude this news broadcast, the headlines again. The government's limit to obtain loans will be increased. The Cabinet approves the establishment of a National Public Council Secretariat in view of the Public Council. It has been expressed that 51,430 persons in 11 districts have been affected by the adverse weather. President has congratulated Shehan Karnatilaka on becoming the second Sri Lankan-born author to receive the prestigious Booker Prize for his second novel. Minister of Power says that the committee appointed to restructure Electricity Board is to be received during this week. Energy Minister sounds warning as CPC employees report sick, And on foreign news, US says Iranian drones breach sanctions. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.